everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Katarina. I am so glad to have you here. I hope you find this video helpful because I'm doing a review today. So if you have been thinking to get this palette, maybe you can get some help of this video of mine. So I'm going to review the Douce palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm also going to share with you 3 looks and show tutorials of 3 different eye looks I did with this palette. So I have now had this palette few weeks and I have used all of the shades at least once, so I think I'm ready to share with you the review of this. Overall, when I look at this palette, I think it's very springy, it has quite pastel vibes, it's very soft, but there is like fun pops of colors in there. It is definitely not a palette for everyone and I will talk about it later, but I am very happy to have it. It is cruelty free, it is vegan. I bought mine from Beauty Bay, and in Beauty Bay it is €23.50. And if you are from US, you can buy it from Juvia's Place website and it is $21, but they do have sales all the time. I think it's definitely worth the money. You do get 9 big shadows for the price of this palette, so I think this is really good deal. Overall, I think Juvia's Place eyeshadows are super affordable. I do have 2 palettes from them already. I do have their Nubian and Nubian 2 palettes, but this is the first one that I'm actually going to review on my channel. So what I will do is I will tell you a little bit what I think about the palette overall. I will show you the swatches and then I will show you 3 different looks with this palette. And the thing I want to say now in the beginning is that when I will show you the looks, I will use other palettes with this palette. So I'm going to use the Meet Matte Nude and Meet Matte Trimony palette from theBalm because I don't think this palette is a complete palette, and I don't mind taking another palette when I use palette like this. For me it is not a problem, but if you are someone that you want a complete palette, you don't want to take another palette, I really would not recommend this palette. I feel like this palette has a beautiful color story. Some of the shades go very well together, but then again, many times when I'm creating a look with this palette, I just need something else. But overall, I do really love the color story. I think it's very beautiful. It's very fresh, very feminine. I think this palette has gotten inspiration from French foods, French desserts. This box that comes with this palette, it is beautiful box. The box has this holographic surface. This says the same thing than the website says. The Douce eyeshadow palette is a sweet blend of soft metallic hues and matte shades, a creamy velvety feel infused with rich pigmentation. So this really doesn't say where it got its inspiration from, when some Juvia's Place shadows tell where they got the inspiration. But I'm just concluding by these names of the shades that this got inspiration from France. I must say there is some shades that are not really that high quality, or maybe one shade is really not that great in my opinion, but overall Juvia's Place eyeshadows are so high quality for such an affordable price. The mattes are super blendable, pigmented, just beautiful mattes, and the foiled eyeshadows for the most part is really beautiful formula. And also there is one shade that is really strong duochrome shade. I think it's really fun. Overall there is only one shadow that is not so good, so for the most part this palette is beautiful quality. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my opinion of these shades and I'm just going to finger swatch them. I know not everybody likes finger swatches, but I think when you do finger swatches you can really see what the color is actually, because some of these shades don't really look the same on the pan than on eye actually. So the first shade here is this shade Chocolat, and it is deep chocolate brown matte shade, and I really do think this is very good brown to this. Looks beautiful with that mint green and with that beige shade. Then the shade number 2 here is the shade Tart, and this is a shade that really doesn't look at all what it looks here on pan, because this is a very strong duochrome shade. In pan it looks just like a light pink shade, but it actually has really strong lilac duochrome. I think it's really fun. Next shade here is the shade Green, and it is light matte pink shade. I am really afraid of pinks many times, but I think this is beautiful pink. It is something that you can use on your crease as transition shades. The next shade here is shade Macarons, and it is a mint green. This was one of the shades why I wanted this palette, and it is absolutely stunning minty green shade. I love this. This is probably my favorite shade of the whole palette because I don't have this type of shade anywhere else in my collection. Then the next shade here is the shade Custard, and it is like matte, bright purple shade, kind of like medium. It's not too deep, not too light. This is beautiful, and I actually do have it on today on my eyes, so it looks like this. I really do like this. Purples can sometimes be difficult to make, but I think this purple is very good, nothing to complain. Then the next shade here is shade Puffs, and it is like a light foiled pink shade. I love this shade. This is very beautiful. This is that kind of pink that I like to wear. It is super foiled, super beautiful. Then the next shade here is the shade Berry Mousse. I have heard some people not really like this shade because it's so boring, but I actually really like it. I think it's beautiful transition shade. So it looks like this. I don't know if you can see it that well. It is just a little bit deeper than my skin tone, but not really that different. I feel I'm in such a weird position when I'm trying to show you the swatches. And the next shade here that I have is called Mont Blanc, and it is a silver shade. I understand why this shade is in this palette, but this shade is really not that good quality. It is not nearly as pigmented and as beautiful as the mint green shade, for example. This is just like a mediocre silver eyeshadow. I don't think it's anything special. Many people don't really like silvers. I personally do. I wear silver eyeshadows once in a while, but I always use my Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. If you are a fan of silver eyeshadow, I definitely would recommend that. It's not vegan though, but if you do not buy only vegan, that palette is beautiful. That has some amazing silvers, but this is like you need to use some fixing spray to make it really blinding silvery. So I have used it once, but honestly I don't see myself using that shade that much again, so it is the most disappointing shade in this palette. And then the Crepes, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is like this red brownish shade. It is beautiful shade, it works beautifully, it performs beautifully, swatches beautifully, nothing to complain in quality. However, I really don't think this shade goes that well together with the rest of the shades. I have used it once, but I used only this shade from this palette, and I used it with my Pantat palette, which is the B8 Cosmetics Curly Bible palette. But overall, I think this shade is way too warm to be used with the rest of the shades here. I think they should have done it more like a cool toned wine type of shade. I personally cannot make it work with these shades, but yeah, that's just makes me question why is this shade here, because it really would be more logical to me if it was like more cool toned wine shade. But overall, I think I really like the color story of this palette. What I like about Juvia's Place is that they do have many shadows. So what I think is that anyone can find a perfect palette for themselves from Juvia's Place. This palette is beautiful and I am happy to have it, but I don't see this one coming to be my favorite palette of all times, or I don't see myself panning this palette. Okay, so that was the review part of this video, and now I will be showing you 3 looks that I created with Juvia's Place Douce palette. And keep in mind that I did use another palettes with it. For me it really doesn't make sense to try to create looks using only these shades, because I needed shades from another palette, so I'm going to take 10 shades from another palette. So if you want to see what kind of looks I created with the Douce palette by Juvia's Place, keep on watching. Okay, so this first look is this mint green brown eyeshadow combined with nude rest of the makeup. I really like this look and how it turned out. So I think this look is something that it's very feminine and it's very soft, and even though there is very colorful shade in the lid, I think this is still neutral enough for somebody who is maybe getting into color. So if you want to get to the color, you don't have to go with all different crazy colors once. So this look I created with this Juvia's Place palette, and I also used a couple of shades from this Meet Matte Nude palette. So if you want to see how I created this look, please keep on watching. Okay, so as you can see, I have already done my another eye. I have also done foundation, concealer, things like this. And from this eye that I'm going to show on camera, I have done already my brow and I have primed my eye. I do have baking powder under my eye because I always tend to get fallout, even though I must say that Juvia's Place eyeshadows are one of the best when it comes to fallout. There is really not much at all. But let's start this look. So first, for a transition set, I'm going to use shade Berry Mousse, and all the brushes will be linked down in the description box if you are interested which brushes I do use. With this one I did now get a little bit fallout here because I didn't tap off the excess because this shade is so light. Next I'm going to use a shade in my crease from my theBalm Meet Matte Nude palette. So I'm bringing to my crease this shade Matte Rosen. Then to the outer corner of my eye and to my crease I'm going to bring this very deep chocolate brown shade, and it's actually called Chocolat. I'm blending the shadow with this Sigma E35 brush. There is no access shadow now here in the brush. Then to my lid I'm going to bring this foiled minty green shade Macarons. I think this works alright without setting spray, but I'm going to use some setting or fixing spray. So I'm using this Pixi makeup fixing mist. I have the shadow already in my brush and I'm going to mix this spray. So now I'm going to bring the shadow all over my lid. This shade is extremely beautiful. This is one reason why I bought this whole palette. I have been wanting the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow in Fantasy, which is a beautiful foiled mint green, but I thought I'd rather get this palette because there is 9 shades. With the price of this palette you can get only 2 Makeup Geek eyeshadows, foiled eyeshadows, so I thought it's much better deal to get this palette than 2 shadows from Makeup Geek. Then I'm bringing just a little bit the shade Chocolat to the outer corner to blend this. I'm also blending a little bit this shade in my crease. Then from my Meet Matte Nude palette I'm going to bring this shade Matte Malloy, that is pure white matte shade, to my brow bone. Now I'm taking the baking powder off from my under eye. Then I'm going to move to my lower lash line, so to transition shade to my lower lash line I'm as well bringing the Berry Mousse shade. And next I'm going to bring the shade Chocolat to the outer part of my lower lash line. And next I'm going to bring the shade Macarons to the inner part of my lower lash line. And again I'm wetting the brush when the shadow is on with fixing spray. And then as my inner corner highlight I'm going to use the Pixi highlighter in London Lustre. Okay, so now I'm going to do the eyeliner and my lashes, and also I'm going to finish the makeup and do my hair outside of the camera. So I will see you soon and I will tell you which products I used in the rest of my makeup. Okay, so this is the finished look and I am super happy how it turned out. So few things I want to mention what I did in the rest of the look. As blush I used this Essence Matte Touch Plus in Rose Me Up, which I wonder why is it called like that, because this one is not rosy at all. It is very beige and kind of plain matte shade, but I think this is very good to this look. And as my highlighter I used this Pixi and Aspen Award highlighter in London Lustre, which I used also in my inner corner, and I lined my lips with this Essence long lasting lip liner in Girl Next Door, which is very cool toned light beige shade, and to top of that I did put theBalm Read My Lips lip gloss in shade Snap. Okay, so the look number 2 will be this everyday pink look that I created. So this is created with soft pink colors, and I wanted this look to be kind of like everyday, not too much. Pink is for many, I think, color that they love in eyeshadow, in Eyelook, and something that they are not that afraid to use, but for me it is definitely not that easy color. However, I really like this look, so it is soft, it is girly, it is springy. So this look I did together with the Juvia's Place Douce palette, and I also used my theBalm Meet Matte Trimony palette. Okay, so let's start. As you can see, I do have on some baking powder here, and I already have done my other eye, also my brows, foundation, things like this. So I'm only going to show you the eyeshadow. I'm starting with this Juvia's Place Douce palette, and I'm going to use the shade Cream from here. It is a warm, kind of light pink shade. I'm using it as my transition shade. First bringing it quite lightly, and then I'm going to build the color up. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Meet Matte Trimony palette, and I'm going to use the shade Matte Kumar in my outer corner of my eye and in my crease. You could also use the shade Creeps from the Juvia's Place palette, but I personally think that shade is a little bit too brown. This shade Matte Kumar from the theBalm palette is more, this is a little bit deeper, but this is also a little bit more like wine color. That's enough color, and now I'm going to blend it. Next I'm going to take the Juvia's Place Douce palette again, and I'm going to bring the light shade puffs to my whole lid. I'm just using my finger. You can use, of course, brush if you want to, and if you want to intensify the shadow, you can also use some setting spray. Okay, now I'm going to take just a little bit more of this Matte Kumar shade, and I'm going to bring it to the outer V and to my crease again and blend a little bit the shadow I put to my lid. Next I'm bringing from the theBalm palette this light pink Matte Thomas shade to my brow bone. Okay, so the upper lid is now done. This was very simple, very quick to do. So now I'm going to do the lower lash line, and I'm going to bring this shade Cream to my lower lash line to transition shade. Oh my god, I almost forgot to take off the baking powder. Now I'm going in with the shade Cream. Okay, then I'm going to use the shade Matte Kumar in the outer part of my lower lash line to smoke this look out a little bit, but I'm not doing anything too crazy, and I'm not bringing it too far in. And then I'm bringing this shade Puffs to the inner part of my lower lash line. I'm going to use a little bit setting spray or fixing spray to wet the brush. And the eyeshadow is ready. I'm going to do everything else out of camera, and I will be right back, and I will share with you what products I did use to finish this look. Okay, so this is the finished look, and as I said before showing you the eye look, I really do enjoy this look. I think it's so girly, so springy, but still it is soft and it is feminine. So the products I used to finish this look, I used a blush that is very neutral pink natural shade. This is the Catrice Multi-Matte Blush in Lovey Rosy. It is very light. This one is something that even for me that is afraid of pink blushes, this is maybe tiniest bit too neutral, but I wanted to keep this look neutral, so I decided to go with this blush and I like it. It's something that it's barely there type of blush for my skin tone. I used as my highlighter the Aromally highlighter in shade Venus, which is a beautiful pink light highlighter. I also used this one in my inner corner and a little bit on my brow bone because the shade I used from my theBalm Trimony palette was not really that much lighter than my skin tone, so I wanted something a little bit more highlighted there, so I did put on this. And because I wanted to keep this look very soft and neutral and nothing too colorful, I decided to put to my lips just this Lumene Arctic Glow lip oil. So this is a tinted lip oil. Hello! So this third look that I'm going to create is this purple halo eye with this holographic twist in it. I really do enjoy this look. I really love how purple eyeshadow looks with my brown eyes. And I rarely do halo eyes because I'm not used to it. But I think I should do it more often because I think it looks very beautiful on myself and it is not that difficult to do what I always think it is. So I definitely should do it more. This look I created together with this Juvia's Place palette. I used also both of my theBalm matte palettes, the Nude palette and the Trimony palette. So if you want to see how I created this colorful purple halo eye, keep on watching. Okay, so once again, I have already done my base makeup and my other eye. I do have some baking powder if I catch some fallout, and I will start this look. So I'm going to use this shade Custard with large blending brush. I do have the Sigma E40. I will go for a halo look, so I will bring it both to the inner part and to the outer part of my crease. Usually I don't bring shadows too in, but this time I will be doing it because I'm going for a halo. I'm going to build this color up slowly. I don't want too much too quickly because this is a pigmented shade. So I'm really carefully tapping off the excess. Okay, then I'm going to take my theBalm Matte Trimony palette and I'm going to take the Deep Plum Matte Moscow shade and I'm going to bring it both to the inner corner and to the outer corner of my lid to deepen up this halo effect. I'm also blending this shadow a little bit to the crease. Then I'm taking more of the shadow of the Juvia's Place palette and I'm going to blend it in crease so that it's not that harsh. I really don't think I am that great with halo eyes. I think they are little bit difficult for me to do because I don't do them too often, but then again, once the look is ready, I'm usually very happy with my look. It's just little bit something I am not used to. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my NYX Jumbo pencil. I have it in shade Milk. I'm taking it just a little bit to my finger and I'm bringing it to the place where I don't have eyeshadow, to the center of my lid. I'm going to blend it a little bit with this brush. There is no actual shadow now, but there may be still something left. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade Tart and that is very light pinky duochrome shade, and I'm going to bring it on top of the NYX pencil. Yes, and then I'm again going to blend it with this brush where I don't have any extra shadow anymore. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take from my theBalm Matte Nude palette the shade Matte Malloy, which is this white. I'm going to bring it to my brow bone. Now I'm going to wipe out the baking powder under my eyes. And then I'm going to move to my lower lash line. I am not going to do halo effect there, but I'm going to do this smoky look that I have on this eye. I'm going to take this shade Custard from Juvia's Place palette, and I'm going to bring it quite generously to my lower lash line, kinda like to be transition shade. And then I'm going to use the shade Matte Moscovitz from my theBalm Matte Trimony palette in the lower lash line from the inner part to the outer part to make it a really smoky. The last thing I'm going to show to you on camera is the inner corner highlighter. So I'm going to use a highlighter from my BH Cosmetics Blacklight palette. I'm going to use the shade On Point. You can also use the shade Tart that I used on my lid, but I just haven't reached for this BH Cosmetics palette for a while and I want to use it. So that's why I'm going to use highlighter from there, and I know I will also put this to my face. So that's why I want to use it in the inner corner as well. Okay, then I'm going to finish my makeup outside of camera and I will be right back and I will tell you what I did for the rest of my face. Okay, so I did finish the look. I did line my eyes, but I did not do wing, and I did also put on some black waterline and I did tight line so that this look is more smoky. As blush, I used my Beauty Without Cruelty blush in Radiant Rose, which look like this, very light, cool toned pink shade. And I did highlight with this BH Cosmetics Blacklight palette that I showed earlier. And to my lips I put the Colourpop Ultra Satin lipstick in shade Alyssa, which is like this dusty pink shade. So this is the finished look, and I also put on cap. I really like this look. I really love how purple eyeshadow looks on myself and my brown eyes, so really happy with this look. Okay, so that was everything I had to share with you of my Douce by Juvia's Place palette. I'm really happy to have this palette. It's not like my favorite palette of all times, but it has interesting color story. I think it's very good for springtime especially, and I really do like the quality, so I'm happy to have it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please put thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments if you have tried Juvia's Place shadows, and see you in my next video. Bye bye!